Good morning, Flosstube. It is Tuesday, July 24th. Pretty sure that's correct. And I am back to show a finished finish and some whips and a new start. At the end, a very quick book recommendation. Hope all is well in your corner of the world. I am filming before work today, so I will make this again a short video, but wanted to get in here at the beginning of the week to say hello and check on you and share some progress. So, Dear Coffee Quaker is really finished now. There was a motif I had not even seen, and some sweet helpers pointed that flower out to me on my pattern. So the space is filled. I am so relieved and so thrilled with this piece. Now to decide about framing, matting, and so forth. Again, a journey of love that would not have been completed had I not had Instagram and Flosstube encouragers. Thank you all for that. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. No one understands except stitchers that we get to that point in our work where we are just tired of the piece and we miss important details. But to have encouragers to show you where to fix things and to encourage you to keep going is a key that is amazing for me in this community. I thank you for that. I know that you remember my St. Paul's Cathedral piece, and I had hoped in my next video to be showing you a finish, but I got sidetracked, as is my wont, and so I don't have a finish. But I do want to show you the work I've done, and it is going to be finished in time for my son's birthday. But that white space in the middle just has not been filled. I hope you can see more detail in the building itself. Again, the greens contrasted with the browns and the blues. Just a lovely, lovely, very simple piece. So there's progress. This is supposed to be my lunchtime stitching. I need to work on that a little more diligently to get it completed. But I would highly commend to you any of the London collection. Sheila Elliott is the designer. It was an eBay find for us. Fun to stitch, done on 14 count Aida, which was in the kit, but I believe it was Weigart, am I correct, with the orange selvage? Very soft, very easy to work with. You also remember, I'm sure, that I had a random act of stitchy kindness from Samantha of Crafting Between Stitches, and this is the Thea Governor Parrot Tulip Kit. And I've shown you this before. And I had started this, I believe on my last video I showed you a tiny start. I believe I did. This is going to look very, how shall we say, out of proportion, but I have a large start on the stem and the leaf, and then a little bit more of the flower itself. It's very hard to see on this filming the beautiful color shading, but this is going to be, I think, a gorgeous piece, and definitely not one that fits my normal choice, but I love, love, love working with the reds and yellows and now the greens. This is also done on Aida. I believe it's a 16 count. Very, very soft. I'm using my fanny stand. That has worked really well for this piece. And I showed you last week that I was using my Paco needle organizer to try to keep those threads straight. That has been my biggest challenge with this piece, is to keep the thread straight because so many are so close in color, and the little organizer cards that are included in the kit are not adequate. So the Paco is going to be a lifesaver. Several videos ago, I mentioned to you that I wanted to get down to my needle workshop to get the materials for this beautiful heartstring samplery piece. Love this life verse. Of course, love the basket of flowers and that border. These are not normally colors that would just call to me, but now that I'm working on it, I know that it will fit beautifully in our living room, dining room area. So I made it down to the Stitch Niche this Saturday with some friends, and not only got my fabric, but got some overdyed threads. It calls for all overdyes. It calls for the Gentle Art and Weeks Dye Works, and I just did not feel that I should spring for that many expensive threads. So what I have done is converted those to DMC, with the exception of 3 or 4 colors that we chose on Saturday to work in with the DMC. So for the beautiful flower here, and the flowers, the little tiny buds on the border, as well as the bunch of grapes or little flowers here. I believe those are supposed to be grapes. We chose 2 Simply Shaker, or, well, no, excuse me. They're sampler threads. They're Gentle Art. This confuses me every time. Anyway, one is called Pomegranate. Isn't that beautiful? And the other is called Old Brick. And they're coming out fairly true. This is the fabric we chose. Let me hold them up with the fabric. That looks a little dark right now, but you can see how that will just be a beautiful contrast. And then we chose Classic Colorworks, and this is a funny title, Really Tealy. So I went a little more teal to go with my color scheme here than the pattern called for. And then this one is called Capri. The variegations on this one are just lovely. You probably cannot see that very well. But those will be for the blue flowers on the inside of the basket there, right where my finger is pointing. Such fun to look at all these threads and try to decide what colors we wanted to use. But now look at these together. Won't that be beautiful? Very rich. So my tiny, tiny start, with all the threads still attached, is, let me see, the beautiful blue flowers. And you can see a little bit of that gold worked in, which I did sub a DMC for. I'm doing this on 36 count linen, and I will be able to tell you the name of that. I actually saved it, but it's going to be a rattle away. Please forgive me. Let me see this fabric. Oops. Well, how much we want to be organized. It is called Summer Khaki, and I don't know who makes it. YT? VT? I have no idea. 36 count Summer Khaki. Love that. So it will be this large with the 36 count. I think I'm allowing like a 1.5 inch border on the sides and 2 inch on the top because they cut standard cuts. So that's what I've played with this weekend. Those tiny little stitches, not tiny for some of you, but tiny for me, in those beautiful colors. So this will also be a progress piece that I hope you can enjoy with me. And again, this is Heartstring Samplery, new every morning. I'm anxious to get the blue flowers finished and work over to the beautiful pinks and burgundies. I have a feeling that basket is going to take some time. And if I'm not mistaken, the verse itself is stitched 1 over 1. I need to read more my instructions, but I believe the little birds are as well. What a nice focal point for that. You can hear my dog fussing in the background because I have put her in the bedroom so she wouldn't disturb us. She is spoiled. Now, at the end of this very short video, I want to thank you for participating in a little part of my day, and I hope your day will be full of all the things you love to do. If you are not a book lover, you can turn this off now and do come back to see me. Comment, subscribe if you have not. But if you are a book lover, maybe enjoy listening to audiobooks when you are stitching. I just finished this book called The Other Daughter by Lauren Willig, Willig. This is another post-war book, post-World War I believe. But it is a wonderful story of a young woman and her struggles to find her family and then to find her place in English society because of her family struggles. Characters beautifully developed, history thrown in. It reminded me in many ways of what you would read in Fitzgerald about American culture at that time, the rich and their lives in London during that same time period. Same parties, same costumes, same view of life. Very, very eye-opening, very interesting. But I loved the audiobook. The narrator was Nicola Barber. Beautiful British accent. Just highly recommend this to anyone who enjoys historical fiction, any of the, character development and family relationships. I have just requested another one of her books. I will let you know if it turns out to be as good as this one, but just a delightful, delightful listen and would be a delightful read. Thank you for coming in today. Give me some comments. Let me know how your life is going, and know that I will come back as soon as I can with more progress and want to hear from you. Keep stitching, keep relaxing as you stitch. Have a great Tuesday. Bye.